Okay, so here we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you should have something like this, which a lot of you did yesterday, which was absolutely amazing. Thank you everyone for joining. So what we did first is we did a pencil drawing, then we did a pencil drawing, then we went on and we did our pen drawings. We wrote our quotes in for people, which they were so moving, like, well done everybody, you did such a good job. And then we've got all of the cross-hatching over our doodles. So it's all on YouTube if anyone wants to go and rewatch them back. So now we're going to create more of a 3D depth like I've done here and add in some shading into our artwork. So take your pencil, take your paintbrush. You need a cup of water. Hi to everyone who's just joined. We're doing the second half of our art class. The first one was yesterday and the second one's today. I'm going to be running art classes every Monday at 11 o'clock and every Friday at 11 o'clock. The Monday class is going to be perspective drawing, just to fill you in. And good morning, everybody. Okay, so we need to dip your paintbrush in the water and then take a little bit of your black, and you want to make it really thin. So it's not taken like this, so it's thick. I don't know if you can see here. It's not going to be thick and glumpy. It's going to be really thin. So ding, 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 ding. I love the sound of that. So let's make it lovely and watery and quite clear. So it's like got a clear consistency to it. Then we're going to start going in the shading. So you're going to take your paintbrush okay, I'll give you 1 minute. Thank you for everyone for joining. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Oh, my hay fever. Oh, sorry everyone. Excuse me. Okay, so let's take our paintbrush and we're going to take the paint and like lovely watered down, and we're going to start inside of our cup and we're just going to do lovely brush strokes across. And can you already see it's another layer added on to our cup? It creates more depth. And I'm going to do the whole of the inside of my tea. So inside here, lovely brush strokes. Make sure you go in the lines. And keep it nice and watered. So all inside here. Lovely kind of a two-tone. And then I'm going to get a little bit more. Get a tiny bit more paint on your brush, mix it with that water so it's still very fine, but it's a slightly shade darker. And I'm going to go in again on one side where I've done more of the cross-hatching. So it's quite a light pressure, it's not really heavy, and the water will just seep into the paper. Like so. And I'm adding a little bit more. So this is the second half of our art class, those who have just joined. And we are doing how to create a lovely piece of art for your kitchen or to gift to somebody. You can catch up on YouTube if you didn't do yesterday's class. And our classes will be running every Monday and Friday. Okay, so here we are. I'm creating layers. So I'm getting a little bit more paint and creating a little bit more layers, and you can run your paintbrush along the side like so. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little bit more underneath this rim. So let's keep this rim really light. If you've painted it already, don't worry. And we're going to go underneath here. And it doesn't matter if it's quite dark and you cover up what you've already done, it will just create more depth. So can you see it's already taking more shape? defining the lines. And then the other side as well. So quite watered down paint. Don't be scared to go on top of what you've done. As long as it's a little bit transparent. You can even go very dark on it as well. It will still look great. And I'm going to just do both sides. And then add a little bit more water, and you can create a little bit of... If you wash your brush out on the edges and you make it a bit watery, you can kind of blend. So I'm blending the lines here. Round. And then a bit darker on the edge here. Thank you everyone who's just joined. We're doing the second half of our art class. If you want to catch up, today we are doing the third layer on top of our artworks using a watery paint. Okay, how's everyone doing? So then we're going to do this bottom bit, so take it a bit deeper. For those people who have just joined, we are on our second day of our cup and we are doing the shading with paint. We've done all our shading with our cross-hatching yesterday and our drawing part. And we're now using the paint. Okay, so here we're doing it very lightly. You can always take paint off as well by pressing a bit harder and just play around and just enjoy it. There's no pressure, you know, just enjoy painting it. Susie, don't worry. If you don't have the paint, you can do it another time. You can catch up. Okay, so that means if the ink's blurring with the water, it means you haven't used a waterproof pen. So, is it completely ruining your artwork? No, okay. Okay. So just carry on, and like this one, we're just going to do around here. Sorry, 1 second everyone. Okay. Okay, if it's blurring, don't worry about it. You can always go over it afterwards with ink. So if it's blurring into the work, don't worry at all. Okay, then we're going to start here again. If it is blurring, you don't need to keep going over the work. Just do it once and use the paint a little bit thicker. Okay. So all the way around of the shadow, just so you've got this other depth. Okay, and let's do a little bit under here as well. So where the shadow is under your second saucer, we're going to run the brush along as well. And in the shadows where you've done the cross hatching. So it will create another layer of depth in your artwork. And then we're going to take a little, wash your brush thoroughly after you've done that. Then we're going to take a little bit of white. Take some white, and we're going to do some... Hi, Tasty Chef. Thank you for your love you're giving us. Okay, then inside we're going to do some white lines. And this will create like more 3D texture inside of our artwork. I'm going to put some on the palette as well. It just creates a little bit more depth. Even if the white goes on the white paper, it still gives it a bit more oomph. And then if you want to make it look a bit shiny, you can do like little dabs of white in places, and it will make the cup look like it's shining. And then I'm going to run a line across here, here, little lines. I'm going to really get in here with the white. Okay, so if the screen gets too high and there's too many comments, just tap the screen and the comments will go down the screen. And then if there's anywhere where you think, you can always mix a little bit of white and a little bit of black just to get like round the back here. I didn't do it, I did a little bit on this one, but can you see I'm going to create it darker at the back and then it comes lighter at the front. So at the back of my saucer, I'm going to do this mid-tone like a grey. So it gives it a bit more depth. And where the saucer bows up and down, I'm also going to do inside of where I think it looks darker, a little bit of darker here and in here, so it looks like it's going up and down. So wherever there's shadow, it will go down, and wherever it's lighter, it will come up. So the lightest bits on your paper will be the bits that are most forward. So that's how you can create depth in an artwork. So I'm just creating a little bit of a ripple here. If anyone's got any questions, just let me know. Just write them in and I can answer them as we go along. Okay, I'm just comparing the one I did before and the one I did afterwards, and they should look pretty similar. So I think when you're up to this stage and you're happy with the amount of shading and light you've got on your art, we can add a bit more black. I think when you put like strong pieces of black into the artwork, it really makes it pop. So let's take some black, and I'm going to, under here, I'm going to make it really dark. Really dark. Under here, I'm going to really dark. And in here as well. And under here. Oh. Hi, Luca. Hi, Jess. Hi, Linda. Thank you for joining. Okay. Hi, Domaine Dejan. Thank you for joining. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Now you're going to wash your brush thoroughly. Really, really wash it. And this is for the funnest part, I think, is creating the background. So I've chosen a plain purple. Make sure your brush is really, really clean before you start using your bold colour. And you're going to start applying your flat, bold colour onto the background. If you want to, you can be experimental with the backgrounds. You could do like a line of red, orange, yellow. You could do rainbow colours. You can do stripes. You can do circles, polka dots. But I've chosen today to do a flat back colour. So I'm going to start by applying the paint quite thickly. Still use water with your on your paintbrush. You don't want it to be too clunky because you get this. Can you see this here? This is when it's too dry. So it needs to be a nice consistency, a really nice texture. And we're going to work around. I always start by going around my shape first. So as neat as you can. If you need to turn your artwork around while you're painting, please do. So let's define these lines. Okay. So keep adding water. So I'm pushing the paintbrush towards me on the flat edge of my paintbrush, starting from in the corner, creating really straight lines, and use your wrist when you go around. So your wrist is like an angular, and you can really get lovely lines with your wrist. Also, if you want, you can put your elbow on the table so that it gives you some kind of strength to kind of lean on. So you can lean your like that, this bit of your arm on the table, and then you've got some leeway just to give you support. Okay. Okay. We're going to follow this line here. If you go out slightly, it doesn't matter too much. Just as neat as you possibly can. And around the other side. If you've got a thinner brush or thicker brush, it doesn't really matter. I'm using a flat head brush. So you've got different types here. You've got this one, which is like a pointy brush, and this is a flat head. So it's easy to kind of do strokes with this one, but any brush will do. If you want any tips on brushes or anything to use, I can give you tips afterwards. Just message me. I'm here to help you, so just let me know. I'll show you with the other brush just how it looks as well. So it does exactly the same thing. So we're going to follow our lines round. To the edge of the artwork. Keep dipping in your paint in your water so it keeps it nice and moist, not stiff. So it keeps the texture lovely. Okay, round we go. You can be a bit more lenient when it's in the gap because you can be a bit more free. But whilst you're going round the artwork, really take your time and be patient and enjoy creating this nice shape. Hi everyone who just joined. Hi Ellie. Hi Wellness Pilates. Thank you for joining. Okay, and you're going to follow the lines round. Should be quite relaxing, this part. Just enjoy the process. Okay, I've completed mine, but if you haven't, just keep going. Okay, and it should really, really be taking shape now. I hope you're all really proud of your art. And once these become framed, they just really set off. Like, it makes such a difference before I've done an artwork when it's on a piece of paper and then you put it in a frame, it just gives it that va-va-voom and it really, really does look fantastic. And as it's a cup, it's a really great painting for any kitchen. So these look wonderful in the kitchen. with the prominent colour and the 3D black and white artwork. Okay, I'm going to go to my edge. Right to the edge. The colour will give it depth and make your artwork pop. You can use any colour. When it dries, if you then want to create like a stripe, you can then take your paint and create stripes along the background. You can match the colours up to some things in your kitchen. You know, if you've got like a red pot, you can always put red dots on it, or just be really creative. You can do a zigzag effect, which is always lovely. So when this is dried, you can take another colour and do a lovely zigzag effect in the artwork. You could also, which is really cool, you could put glitter on the background. So you could buy some glitter online. You put PVA glue all on your background, and then you sprinkle the glitter all over your work. Hello, Tandoori Chambers. They do the best Indian food in Buckhurst Hill. And Gillian, Kelly, hi. Okay. I hope you're not ruining your table like I'm ruining my... Hi, Patricia. Thank you for joining us. Okay. With your artwork, you can either go right up to the top of the painting, which I'm actually going to do today. So your whole picture is filled. Hi, Rebecca. Wellness, Pilates and the kids. I know you're all tuned in and doing the class today. Oscar and Milo, hi. Anne Archer, hello. And Beverly as well. Thank you everyone who's joining in. If you want to catch up or share your art, please do send me your artwork, because I love seeing it. Like, it's just fantastic, the work you've done. Hi Susie, hi Maria. Okay, thanks for joining. Okay, so you should have your 3D cup in the middle of your artwork, and then your plain background. Like so. There we go. Okay, and there we have it. You have your cup ready to be framed. And don't forget to sign your artwork always. So sign your artwork. Hi Lisa. Okay, so sign your work. You can always put the date on there as well. And then once it's dry, if you want to write a message to anybody again on it, or you want to write a note, you can either take your pen and you can write a message on the purple. Usually in an artwork, they're signed and dated at the bottom. But if you do want to sign and date it or write a little note, like if you want to write to mum, you know, and then, or your grandma or grandpa or whoever in your family, especially in these times, it's wonderful to send an artwork to somebody. I really recommend it. So you can write along the bottom, but don't do it too close to the bottom line, because if you do end up getting it framed, the frame just sits a little bit over the artwork. So always keep that in mind. So you just do it a little bit up from the bottom, the signature and the name, and there you have it, a perfect cup of tea artwork. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you're doing well. If there's any questions, let me know. Enjoy this beautiful weather out today. If anyone could go for a walk. Let me just say hello again. So thank you everyone for joining today for the art class. We have created this in 2 days. And then on Monday, we're going to be doing perspective. So we're going to be doing all about perspective drawing and painting. And I'm going to be teaching you how to make a 3D perspective line going in with a gorgeous message at the top. So it's a really good exercise. It's quite complex. Thank you everyone for joining today.